Alright, so now that we logged back in, and logged out and logged back in, we're going to go ahead and make sure that Homestead was successfully bind to our path, and as we can see, it is. So now we're going to go ahead and run Homestead, and then we're going to run init. And it's creating the YAML file, which is basically the environmental variable, the settings for Homestead. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and actually view this file. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to go to C, users, Tyler, and then I'm going to go to .homestead, and then I'm going to see this homestead.yaml file. So I need to go ahead and open this, and I'm going to open it with Notepad in this case. And we might see something like this, and you probably will want to have a different text editor. So one that I recommend on the go is just atom.io, and we're going to go ahead and download this. You don't have to do this, you can use Sublime, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I've installed Atom, and I'm just going to go ahead and open it there, and now we can see that's really nice and organized. Alright, so now the next part of this tutorial comes into play. We need to go ahead and first authorize, or get our keys that we need, but first we need to specify the actual path, because this is for like Ubuntu and Mac and Linux. So what we're going to do is just copy our directory here, so it's going to be your name. We're just going to paste that in there, and change all of your slashes to be backslashes. Alright, and just change that pretty much everywhere except on these lines. So just here's gonna be the last one. Okay, so before I forget, we need to make one more folder here so we can store our code in it. And what I'm gonna do is just make a folder here. This is what I usually do. Just name it code. Then I'm gonna go ahead and create a link to this. So I'm going to create a shortcut. I'm going to put that right on my desktop so I can get to it real quick, and I'm going to rename that to just code. So now I can just open up the folder. There's all my code. So what I'm going to do now is just make my first project in here. So I'm going to name it Laravel, and then eventually when this runs it will go ahead and map that, but I think I do need a public folder here. Alright, so just so that maps when I originally set up, or when I run it for the first time, it will work. So now we need to generate our keys here. So by doing that, we get open up git bash, and we need to run in a command. Alright, so to do this, we have to do ssh keygen, and then -t rsa -c, and then your email address. I'm not going to put a passphrase on it for me. And that's all we have to do. And if we go back here and go back into our users and your name, SSH, you should see 2 keys. Alright, so that's good. So now we can see that we're all ready to go here. We have our IP address. Everything's been set how we need it to be set. So now we need to go ahead and actually run Homestead. So make sure all your changes are saved there. And let's go ahead and run Homestead up. Alright, and we're going to wait a couple seconds here as it's thinking. Alright, so it's creating the box Laravel Homestead, and this may take some time as it's actually downloading the whole entire Laravel Homestead box, and that's a full Linux Ubuntu machine there. So it may take some time depending on your internet speed. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and as soon as it's done, I'll be back. Alright, so that has finished downloading, and I've just received a notification on the screen. I had to press accept it because I could not see it. But you just want to press yes or just a VirtualBox authorization okays, and just go ahead and press yes for both. Alright, so as you can see, it's just finishing up the installation process for Laravel Homestead. It's forwarding ports so you can access pretty much everything on your machine. You're going to want to allow access to a lot of this stuff if you want to be able to use it successfully. So let me just go ahead and explain this real quick. So you're really only going to have one folder, okay? Now, you may have multiple sites, so if you do, you're just going to want to map these. in your databases also. Now these are pretty cool. You can, like, maybe if you want another database just called Laravel, it will create these Laravels when it boots up. Like right now it will be creating these databases, so that's very nice. And variables, if you have any variables you want to set on your machine, you can just set them here. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do one more thing. I'm going to go to my library here. I'm going to go to this PC. I'm going to computers. What we're doing right now is just setting our host file. I'm going to go down to System32. I'm going to go to drivers, and what this will do is make it so we can view our site on our computer by changing our host file. So I'm going to click and drag that in here. And how this works is we're going to type in the IP address of the server that we just created. And that's right here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. And I'm going to bind that to whatever I have set right here, which is homestead.app. So you can have multiple of these. And I'm going to paste that right next to it. Best idea to tab over, make it go with the line, and go ahead and save that. And then you might get this issue and that error. And if you do, the best way to do this is just go File and then Save As Desktop. And we're just going to save that there. And then what we can do is just minimize this. We don't need it. Just click and drag it on top of hosts, and it will. You want to replace it, and yes, you want access, and it will go ahead and paste that in there. And then now you don't have to go through that stuff anymore, and it should be ready to go. All right, so now we should be able to go ahead and access this site. So let's type in homestead.app, and yes, this may happen. So homestead.app, best to add the trailing / at the end there, and it will try to connect it to the site. And you might get something like this, and most likely the files have not been added. So best way to do that is just go ahead, go here, and as we can see, there's no site in here. So let's go ahead and set up this first site, and we're almost done. So let's do homestead SSH, and this will actually SSH right into the homestead box. And I happen to not like this method. I prefer using putty. It's a lot easier, I think, because this SSH command seems really buggy. So I'm going to go ahead and cd into code. I'm going to list out the file contents. Again, it's really buggy. That's why I don't like this. Cd into Laravel, list that out. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cd up real quick, list these out, and I'm going to do remove recursively Laravel. And all that's going to do is make it really easy so I can go ahead and install Laravel. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and type the command Laravel new, and then we're just going to name it Laravel. And it will go ahead and make, or I guess it won't work on these boxes. So what we have to do is just the manual is we have to just go ahead and use Composer and Composer. Sorry about that. And then we're going to go ahead and type in create project, Laravel, and then we're going to go ahead and do prefer dist. And we'll go ahead and get the preferred dist there. And this may take a couple of seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. All right, so this has pretty much been all set up now. And there's one more thing we have to do. When I went ahead and set that up, I used Laravel as the name with lowercase l, and we cannot have this. So I just have to move Laravel to Laravel, and and it looks like it's saying something's being accessed right now. So we cannot really move that at the moment. Best way to do this is just, you can just rename it here and just restart Homestead. Or you can just restart the machine and change it that, or just move it that way. But pretty much it's all done. And the only reason why it's working is because there has to be some default way of serving this. And we can see this is running Laravel 5, so we can do auth login. And we have the really minimalistic design here, which is good. So this has been a full tutorial on how to install Homestead on Windows. If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave a comment in the description, and I'll go ahead and try to make another video for you guys. I will be doing more videos. I just need ideas of what to do. So if you can PM me or write something in the description, I will go ahead and write that down, and I will remove your comment just for, or no, I won't remove your comment just so other people can see it. And I'll go ahead and try to get those up here sometime. I run another channel called OceanCast, so I've been pretty busy over there. So we'll see what happens. So thank you, everyone. If this tutorial has been informative at all, or if you've learned anything new, or you just like the tutorial in general, or you thought it was good, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel and press the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, that's it for today, and everyone have a great day.